And hello and welcome. My name is Amy Prokopis. If you are new here, I am an indie author of 10 books, and I write paranormal romance and romantasy, always with a little bit of spice. So if you are new, hi, hello, welcome. We go live at 8:30 Central Standard Time every Sunday and do productivity sprints or writing sprints. They're really helpful to me. The way we run them here is we will do 3. Each one will be 25 minutes, and we will chat in between. I've actually changed up these little lines here at the bottom, the tickers. I've actually changed them up for tonight for our breaks, so they are different than the previous live streams. But hi, hello. I am excited to have you guys. I am even more excited to be writing tonight. I really need a good writing session. It has been slower this week. It's just been really busy. This week was the last week of school around here, so it was super busy. Lots of different events. And so writing was just not something that took precedent in a few days this week. It's just been really, really busy, and I am doing my best to try and get this book finished. I am currently writing a duology. Book 1 is finished. It is edited, everything. It's with my proofreader, or also known as PA Bestie Jill. She has my book right now, and she is currently reading through the final version. So I will make teeny adjustments according to her notes. And then I will be onto like the fun stuff, like a blurb reveal super soon, and a cover reveal, and ARC readers, all of those fun things. I am thinking, well, we'll leave that for later. I have some thoughts related to like my progress and stuff coming up. So we will get to that later. So don't go anywhere. Stay here if you're curious about all of the bookish updates. But what we're doing tonight, I am working on drafting book 2 in this duology, which is The Billionaire Beasts of New York. And the second book is called Submitting to the Beast. It is the co-owner, one of the co-owners of the Supernatural nightclub in New York City. A billionaire, of course, as the title, the series title, duology title, whatever kind of insinuates. He is a werewolf, and she is a guardian, which is something I've written about before in my kind of paranormal world lore. But you do not have to read my other books to understand or really enjoy this duology, which was the entire point. It's something that can be read totally separate and enjoyed, and I am having a lot of fun writing them. They're much spicier than other books I've written, and they're also written in a different style. I haven't written in dual POV since my very first book, and not even the entire book was written that way. So this is very different. I am really enjoying it, and yeah, I'm having a good time. We are 49,149 words into drafting this book. Wish I was closer. The plan tonight is several things. 1, we are crossing the 50K mark tonight. That is exciting. 2, I want to write at least 2,200 words tonight. So 2,200 word minimum tonight. I would love to write more than that. I am going to have, I think, a late night tonight. My husband is working late, and my kiddo is getting ready to go to sleep. So I'm going to duck out of here at the start of our first sprint to just tie up those things and get him down for the night. And then I will be back here with you guys. So I am excited, really looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. And yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much else to say, just that it's going to be exciting, and I am super looking forward to it. So tell me in the chat what you will be working on. I like to keep track of my progress. I actually jot it down each sprint in my planner to keep track of how well I have done for the night. So I plan on continuing with that tonight. So I already have that written down. So I'm going to add it in the chat though, to just so I have it there too. I'm working on my draft of submitting to the beast. Aha! I am starting the night at 49,149 words. And here's to hoping for 50K super, super soon. I really wish, and I don't know, maybe I need to look more at StreamYard, which is what I stream through. There's got to be a way that I could, like, I don't know, put screen animations on to celebrate when we hit a milestone. There's got to be a way to do that. I might have to look into that because I don't know. Just never thought about that. I know that there are sound effects. Can I even do these kind of sound effects? I guess I can. These are kind of fun. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and there's also background music, but we won't play background music. So if you are unfamiliar with us here in Amy Prokopis' world, the way that we run these live streams is during the actual writing sprints, the entire screen will be muted minus the timer. The timer will still go off on your screen at the end of the 25-minute period. I'm going to put it up on the screen just like this. It'll be there counting down as we work, and I'm going to keep up with where we are in the stream down below in the tickers. But that is how we roll around here. That's how we do things. So other updates, if you don't already, you should go and follow me on social media. All of those links are in the description box. Make sure to like this stream. It helps a huge amount in the algorithm, and it takes you 1 second to just click that little like button about right here down below. Same thing with subscribing. If this is really fun kind of weekly activity, I also post vlog style content, and I try my best to do sit down style videos where I talk about behind the scenes of author life and other things when I am able to. So haven't done a ton of that recently just because life is crazy and busy, but I have been for quite some time brainstorming how I can bring that kind of content back to the YouTube channel because I really miss it. So yeah, if that sounds interesting, subscribe down below. I actually have gained quite a few. I had a boost this last week in subscribers, and so I surpassed a goal of mine. So exciting stuff is happening here for me, and I am, just excited to be here with you guys tonight and to write. So I think that kind of gets us all caught up. So definitely hop in either the comment section if you're watching the replay, or over here in the chat if you are wanting to jump in, tell me what you're working on tonight and what you have in store. We are going to cover a lot of really fun things tonight, not just getting some writing done, but also chatting about bookish updates, things that are like bookish news coming up that's really exciting, stuff that, I don't know, we're just really happy and makes us feel good to discuss. So all of that is coming. But for now, I think we are ready to go with our first sprint of the night. All right, so we're going to do 25 minutes, and then we will come back here and we will chat a little bit more. I'm going to change our ticker down below. We are going to move into our first sprint of 3. I'm going to have to duck out here in a second, make sure my little guy gets down to sleep here in a little bit, and then, I'm hoping to make a lot of progress. So last week, I set myself like micro goals for each of the sprints. So I am also going to do that tonight. So I am hoping for this first sprint that I can write 300 words. I'm going to set it at 300 words because I'm going to have to split my time a little bit. So I am hoping to write 300 words in sprint number 1. Okay, if you want to make yourself a goal and type that in too, feel free. Okay, sprint number 1, 25 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. Welcome back, friends. I am tallying my final word count for the first sprint. I said I wanted to write 300 words, and I did that. I wrote 393, which is awesome. I thought I was going to have a much harder time getting started, honestly. I was worried that it would be really pushing it to hit 300 words, so I am really proud of myself for that progress. So there's that. That's amazing. How did all of you do? Let me know in the chat. I would love to know how you are doing tonight. I guess I should switch. There we go. Our ticker. Break number 1 of 2. What bookish thing are you looking forward to that's coming up? What are you looking forward to in the bookish world? For me, I am super looking forward to getting my copy of Taming the Beast back from PA Bestie Jill, from my personal assistant, because once I am fully finished with the editing and writing phase and we move into the production stuff, that's the fun, flashy stuff. That's the tangible part, right? Because you can see the book cover, you get all of the pretty graphics, you do all the fun reveals, you start actually sharing things with people, and it's just that much closer to the book being out to the public. And so I am super excited to get that back. PA Bestie Jill is currently on a trip with her family, and it was a road trip. And so she read the book on the way there. So she may actually be finished with it. She had high hopes of finishing the book on the way there and making her notes. I have not heard, though. They have been on the road. She's on vacation. She's enjoying her time. I'm not asking about those things. I'm just enjoying the fun pictures she's sending of all of the stops along the way they've had. So I am not worried about that. I can't get it back anyway until she returns, because I gave her a physical copy to make notes in. So I can't do anything anyway. So I'm not going to worry about asking her. So, but I am really excited for when she comes back and I get to make the final adjustments, because that means that we get to finalize the book blurb and I get to start doing interior formatting, which I've been itching to do. I'm doing that differently with this duology. I don't want to spoil things yet. I want that to be another fun reveal, but I am doing formatting differently than I have done in the past. There's a lot of things that are totally new about this release. So many things. And you know what? I should make a note of that, because I should eventually do a YouTube video about all of the things that are different about what I'm doing differently about this release. Bethany Atizada here on YouTube actually did a video this last week about the exact same thing. And I'm doing things so differently with the release of these books that I really could sit down and just talk forever about it. So you know what? I think as we get closer, I think I may actually do that and make an actual, a proper YouTube video about that. So I think I will make myself a little post-it note here about that. So I think that is what I'm looking forward to the most, bookish wise. So feel free to jump in or leave me a comment down below if you're watching the replay. What is something that you are looking forward to in the bookish world? I would love to know. Maybe there's something happening that I'm not aware of. So I'm making my little YouTube note. What I'm doing differently with Billionaire Beast of New York release. All right. So I've got that little note. Also, for the first sprint, I did not listen to music. Sometimes I write like that, but it's very rarely. Usually when I write like that, it's because I'm sitting in a coffee shop and there's a lot of white noise, like not really distracting noise. Usually it's not like conversations happening unless they're really like off in the wayside. Usually it's just like the clatter of people sitting drinks down. Speaking of, I forgot my drink for the night in the other room. So when I went up and got my kiddo down for the night, I went and I grabbed that while I was up. So forgot that. Got hot beverage tonight because even though it is really warm here in Oklahoma, the auto, whatever it is, the like energy saver at our house, our AC, I don't know what it is, but it is definitely set more for my husband's comfort than mine. And I have to go and like manually adjust it for myself sometimes. So that's why I'm wearing sweatpants and I would be wearing a sweatshirt in the middle of the summer months here in Oklahoma because I am always cold. So I've been really cold in my house. So tonight it's a hot beverage, not the normal cherry Coke Zero like it has been in the previous weeks. So what creature comforts do you have with you guys tonight? That would be, I don't know, fun to know. Okay, I was able to do almost 400 words in the first sprint. My plans for tonight are to try to do as much as I possibly can. I think we are going to do the live stream tonight like normal. And then I think I'm just going to do some writing on my own afterwards. I am planning to stay up kind of late. My husband's going to be working really late also. He's at kind of like a lock-in style graduation thing that he has to work. He is a high school principal. So he's actually like working tonight, overnight, which is not a normal thing. The overnight part. So he is out late. And so when he's out late like this, one, I don't sleep amazing when he's gone because I think about, like, I just worry enough about him. And neither does my dog. Our dog, for those of you who are new, I have a Havanese, which is like a Cuban Bichon kind of a dog. They look a little like a Shih Tzu. And I love the breed, honestly. They're so sweet. But our dog is super attached to us. And when one of us is gone, she has a really difficult time just kind of like being done for the night. She's just very aware of where everybody in the house is at all times. Even when we have guests over, she meanders throughout the house if everyone's separated about every few minutes because she just likes to keep tabs, which is adorable. And so if I go to bed and Alex is still out for the night, I'm thinking about like, okay, where is he before I go to sleep? Just like in case something, just because my brain is anxious. And she does not come to bed like normal with me and snuggle. She sits at the end of the bed, literally sits there looking at the door, waiting on him to come home. And she will finally curl up and go to sleep, but it'll be a long time. So the plan for the night is to stay up and write. Probably not until he gets home because that would be early in the morning and I have work in the morning. But I did do I got a lot of extra rest, even a nap over the weekend. So I feel really well rested. So I think that I can justify a late night of writing. So that's what we're going to do tonight. Alrighty. I am starting sprint number 2 we are definitely crossing the 50K mark in this sprint is my goal. So 59,542 words I am hoping to cross. So I'm hoping to cross the 50,000 word mark in sprint number 2. So let me see. In order to do that, it really shouldn't be this hard for me to math. So in order to do this, I have to write 458 words. So that is what I will be shooting for. Kind of a strange goal to set, maybe 458 words, but we're just going to go with it because that would be the minimum to reach 50K in sprint number two. So if we can do that, that would be amazing. I think I had already said earlier, my overall goal for the night is at least 2,200 words written. I'm hoping to do more than that. Ideally, I would like to double that. Don't know if that is something I can accomplish tonight, however, but I would like to write a ton more just because I did not make my normal 5K Friday this week. And I also did not hit 5K Friday the last week, which really slowed me down. I was really banking on having that time. Not only that, but coming up is a holiday weekend. And I think my husband and I think Alex and I may or may not be both kind of taking some time off. And so I don't know when exactly we're taking time off, but I would like to enjoy the downtime. So if I can just buckle down and do a lot of extra this week, then I may be able to get away with not doing 5K Friday and doing more of like 2K Friday. So we'll see how that pans out, but minimum 2,200 words tonight. Probably not during this live stream. I think I will be staying up late doing it after. Okay, so I think this time I am going to plug in my headphones. I got my hot beverage. I am getting kind of cold, honestly. So we've got that. And we are ready for sprint number 2 of 3. All right. I'm going to put our timer up. I'm going to get some music going for the vibes. And then we'll get going. Okay. So here's to 458 words in sprint number 2. Timer is on the screen. 3, 2, 1, sprint. It took me a minute there. Okay. I got a bit further. I did pass the 50K mark. So if I could do confetti, like I was talking about earlier, wanting like graphics, I would do that. But I don't have that ability. I did, however, write 727 words. So I am super happy by that, with that. Should say that. So things are going really, really well. So we are up 1,120 words for the night. We are encroaching on my minimum word count of 2,200 words. I definitely think that is doable for tonight. I would love to push it a little further and get more than that tonight. We will see if we end up doing that. Like I said, a really good goal would be writing 2,200 words. A better goal would be doubling that. And maybe the best goal would be like 5K or more, like a normal 5K Friday. I don't know though. We will see how the rest of the night bodes for us. So, on to our second and final break for the night. That is writing and publishing updates. I told you guys earlier that I was going to hold off on letting you know some things because I was starting to just ramble in the opening a little bit. So it was when I was saying that I should just do a sit down video and tell you all about the different ways I am going about this entire process with the Billionaire Beast of New York duology, because just about everything is different with this book. So many things are different. For one, I'm rapid releasing it, which is new. I haven't never done that. I also am writing both books from start to finish in dual perspective, which is something I haven't done for a full book. It just felt right for these particular books, and I think that's definitely been the right move. It changes so much about the storytelling. I'm glad I did that. There's so many new things, and I'm also doing things differently with the actual like production and formatting of the book. I did say I didn't want to give too much away, but I think I'm going to do forced edges on these books. You can buy templates online and put them into Vellum, which is the formatting software I use. So basically what forced edges are, it's the printed version of sprayed edges. So if you have, I wish I had a book with me. I don't. But if you have a book and the edges, the paper part, are colored, a lot of times they are sprayed edges. People will hand spray those, which is very cool. Sometimes they'll have different designs. And another way of achieving that is by doing what's called forced edges. So basically what you do is you get this template, and it is basically just a big background. You put it in the document, so in Vellum, you associate it with all pages. And what it does is it's a design that is only on the edges of this image. And it's only on the edges where the bleed would be. So when you go to upload a book, like on Amazon, you would select bleed when it comes to the art section. So when you go to manuscript and cover design, there's always some bleed on it, which is the extra design that ends up getting cut off when it goes to the printer. And so that way you have a little bit of margin for error, is essentially what the bleed is for. You want the most of your design that you want to be seen within the bleed, so on the inside sections, but whatever extra you may have in the bleed section just gets cut off. Well, when you do forced edges, so you do like a color or maybe do black or some kind of a design, the image itself is in the bleed section, so that when it gets cut down in the printer, it leaves a teeny tiny amount of that color pigment, or that design on the very, very edge of the paper so that when the book is closed, it creates basically like that sprayed edges, but you've done it by using an image within the pages of the document. So what's nice about that is by doing forced edges or sprayed edges instead of just colored paper, it keeps your printing costs down. So you can still keep the book price listed lower for consumers, which is really nice versus like maybe a special edition where you'd have colored pages or something. So I am planning to do that, which is fun. I've never done that before. I've really, really wanted to. And honestly, I just haven't had a good candidate for a project. But since this is a duology and that's it, just the two of them, I think it would be really pretty to tie them together with some forced edges. So I do have that. I've also mentioned that I was going to do a Kickstarter with a special edition, which is the duology in one. I do plan to release a special edition. However, I am no longer planning to do the Kickstarter. So I actually need to, I think, make an announcement about that I'm not planning to do the Kickstarter. I just don't have the time, honestly, and I don't want to rush it. I don't want to risk not doing it well. And also, if I do it the way I'm promising it, the big perk of the special edition in this process was that you would get the special edition before either book released publicly. So you would have both books that you could then read and then hopefully review in a really pretty edition even. So that was the goal, but I don't think it's feasible for me to do it before release date. So I am going to hold off on that. And it may be a project I come back to in the next later months. Maybe I do that closer to Christmas time. I don't know. Maybe I do it after the next Curses book comes out because I could make it, I don't know. I could make it ultra pretty. I don't know. Also, in other writing updates, this last week, I had another idea for a spinoff with this world I've built, mostly with like the world of Curse of Wings. I had an idea. I don't know if I will follow through with it. It would be a standalone, but it would be really fun. And if I do continue to build on that idea and it sticks around, it may actually change some of my publication schedule. So I don't know. Speaking of publication schedule, I just remembered I actually wrote some of that down wrong on my wall calendar. So what I did today is I officially broke everything up in my year. So rather than having like my yearly goals like I did have, I took the ones that still applied or still mattered to me, and I dedicated a quarter of the year to it. So I am officially looking at my goals and my process quarterly, which is a lot easier on my brain, easier to wrap around, a lot less daunting, and in some ways a little bit easier to move around. Given that it tends to take me 3 months to write a book in that phase of things. So I'm hoping that just changing the perspective and only focusing on a glimpse at a time will just make things a little easier to find success. So I printed off pages, like a wall calendar for that, and I put it up on the inside of my closet, and I marked all of my stuff for the remainder of the year. But I just remembered I actually mismarked the last few months of the year. So I need to go and fix that. But like I said, if I do decide to build and continue on yet another spinoff, kind of like this duology was, then it may shift things in my publication schedule just because it'd just be fun, Easter egg, if I put it between some things first. So I don't know. I may do that because that would be really fun. And I did it with this duology. So there's that. Okay. We need to go into the final sprint of the night, which is another 25-minute sprint. And then we are going to wrap things up, talk about intentions for the week, things we are hoping to accomplish. I know I shot really high and hit 727 words in sprint number 2. But I have to get up. I need a snack. So I'm going to do that. Maybe top off because I think that the teapot is still full in there unless my husband took tea to go for extra caffeine. So I may refill and then come back and start writing. So I may be slowing down just a little bit because I think I'm going to give myself a bit of a longer break in between the live stream just to settle in before I start my own nightly writing, because that I probably will not do sprints for unless I just really find that my not production productivity is stalled is what I mean. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put the timer up though before I pop out, grab snack, top off my drink if there's still tea, and then we will come back. And I am hoping, as I was getting to, I am going to shoot for 400 words for this sprint. I feel like that's a nice median between kind of the low end of starting out with like 300 and that high end. So let's go with hoping for 400 words for sprint number 2. Okay, we're going to do that. All right. Best of luck to you, friends. 25 minutes on the clock. 3, 2, 1, sprint. All right. I am at the very end of the chapter, so I'm having a hard time stopping, to be entirely honest. I also completely forgot to start the timer. I don't know how many of you noticed that, but little mishap there. But I did hit my goal of 400 words. I wrote 426 words, which is amazing. I am at 50,695 words. So that means I can't talk and do the math at the same time. I wrote 1,546 words for this live stream, which is great. I am still going to stay up a little longer to work on some things. It is 10:30. I will probably do another 30 minutes or so because I think that could really put me over what I want to complete for the night. So yeah, I am feeling really, really good. So I have written 1,546 words. That is amazing. So I'm really close. This week, let's talk about this week. I want to do, so the way the math works is if I do an average of 2,200 words per day, 2,200 words every single day this week, that keeps me on track to be done. I'm hoping the due date, because I don't have any firm due dates that I am giving myself is June 8th. I also start working with a client tomorrow. I need to touch base with them in the morning. That is priority number one for the morning when I get into my office, is to touch base with my client because I have not heard from her, but I know that things were kind of like in the mix. I also know that she had an event today or yesterday. I think it was today. So I'm sure I was low on her list. Trying to get in contact with me was the last thing she was concerned about today. So that's okay. I'm going to follow up with her in the morning. So I have that to do. Start with an editing client, and hopefully writing 2,200 words per day. I think just because I want to get a lot of stuff done and be in really good shape because I am going on vacation in June, I want to be finished before I leave for vacation, which is why I set June 8th as my due date, because if I needed to go a little bit later, I'd have a little wiggle room there still. But I think I'm going to have to bring back evening writing sprints and start writing in the evenings on weekdays just to be able to hit my goals. So I think I'm going to be doing my morning writing session and an evening writing session, unless I can get a ton done in the morning and be really productive. So we'll see. But that is the plan. The only thing on my agenda for this next week is, as far as I see, writing plus editing a little bit. And then the weekend, I will enjoy some nice away time with my husband. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I appreciate you guys hanging around. And I hope you guys are going to achieve all of the goals you set out for yourself as well. So type them in the chat, leave them in the comment section below. If you would like, sometimes speaking them aloud, speaking them into existence helps to get things started. So let me know what your plans are for the week. And again, I know we started the live stream with this, but give a like down below. A like is free. It takes you 1 second if you have not already, and it really, really helps this channel out. If not, subscribing. Subscribing also helps a ton. So if you're not subscribed, please do that below. I would appreciate it. And yeah, check out the links in the description box to all of my books and social media. I'm very involved in social media, so I am a little bit of everywhere. So that is it for the night. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. And here's to hoping for a really good week of writing. So I hope you guys have a good one too. Read books, be kind, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.